The simple system I'm using daily to keep showing up, day 4. So yesterday we talked about the challenges that I have been dealing with making this challenge a last minute decision. I just decided on the 1st that evening that I was going to start posting every day on YouTube, and I truly did not think that through. I just got in from the gym. It has been a long week already, and we're just on Tuesday. So I got some things that I really need to get handled today, but I had to get this video in. Today is day 4, and I did want you to see my face. But we're gonna hop behind the screen on the computer again. Okay, so this is the simple system I'm using to keep showing up, day 4. This is the actual process. Now, not saying that this will not change. This is where I am right now, and this is what I'm going to be going by. So this is the simple system. And I decided to put this together because I realized very quickly that motivation, but I like to say inspiration, is not enough. I cannot depend on feeling inspired every day. I cannot depend on having a perfect idea every day. I need a repeatable system that will help me to be able to continue to show up even when I'm tired, when I'm busy, when I'm behind, or when I'm overthinking. So this right here is where we're starting. So right now we're going to start with number 1, step 1, choosing the truth, not the perfect topic, not the most viral topic, not the thing that everybody wants to hear. I am asking myself, what is the truth for me today? So an example could be, what is true today? How am I feeling? Do I feel behind? I need a system. I'm overthinking. I need more options. I need to learn how to push through, how to resume. You see what I'm saying? Those are things that are truth. Like when I ask, what is true for today, right? And so this makes content easier because it will allow me to not have to try to create from a fake place. I'm creating from what is actually happening. Like that is why day 3 was about getting behind and not quitting. That was the truth, So the second thing would be turn the truth into a lesson. So with this second step, because I don't want my videos to be me just venting or literally, going in a place that I don't feel is conducive to learning. I want to share what I'm learning while I'm going through it, kind of sharing with you exactly where I am. So like example, truth, I got behind. So what is the lesson? Getting behind does not mean that I have to quit. So another one would be like truth. I don't know everything yet. Of course, I know a lot, but I don't know everything with what I'm doing, right? And so the lesson is, how can I start with what I do know, right? And this is what I'm speaking on with regards to making a decision to commit to creating one long form content video every single day, right? So that is the difference between just talking and actually helping somebody. The story makes it real, but the lesson is what makes it useful, right? And so creating 5 talking points. Okay, so this third step is, like when you take 5 talking points for whatever the truth is, and you're turning the truth into the lesson. So what's 5 talking points of it? You don't have to have a whole script. A whole script is what will make you feel boxed in. So it'll make you start to sound like you're reading. And you just really need 5 points to keep you focused on like exactly what it is that you're talking about. So like a 5-point flow could be, what happened? Why does it matter? What did I learn? How can this help? What should I do next? Like that is what my thought process is as far as like a 5 talking point video would be. So this will keep you from rambling, but it also gives you the freedom to speak naturally, right? So example, for this video, what happened is I realized really quickly that daily posting is much more challenging than I thought. Why does that matter? Well, because without a system, I will continue to feel like I'm behind. So what did I learn? I learned really quickly that I need structure and not just motivation, but I always like to say inspiration, but I do add that word in there because I know a lot of people use the word motivation, but my favorite word when it comes to that is inspiration, because what is inspiring you? What makes you want to continue to push through? You have to inspire yourself. Motivation is something from the outside, right? And I truly feel like no outside source is really going to motivate you enough. It has to come from inside. You have to inspire yourself. What can you see? What can you do to inspire yourself? Okay. So now let's get back to the 5th point, which was, how can I help myself? Right. Well, or you, you could ask yourself, how can this help you? You got to create your own system too. So the last point would be, what should you or I do next? Well, that would be pick one thing that you want to commit to before the end of the year and create a simple plan for it. So for me, I already committed to that, which was showing up every single day doing a long form piece of content, right? And so for me, this is a big one. Number 4, record before I feel ready. Whew, this 4th step, this is the part that is stretching me, because it's really stretching me because I like to think, rethink, change the title, change the thumbnail, change the offer, change the whole plan, and then nothing gets done. And I really feel like that is what has kept me in a loop for a very long time. I have all these amazing ideas, but I never really fully execute them for so many different things. And so I can understand that and relate to this record before I feel ready, because it's the same thing. So, you know, recording before I'm ready means it doesn't have to have a perfect setup. Like, a perfect setup is not required. You know, there's no perfect outfit. There's no perfect, look. No perfect words are required, right? There is no perfect confidence required. Just show up as yourself, press record, and do it anyway. So I'm learning that confidence is not always what comes before the action. Sometimes the confidence comes after I see myself following through. And so I'm sharing that with you as a coach who is literally having to re-coach myself because I've been gone for so long. And so I'm just choosing to do it out loud so that you can see the process, right? So that takes us to the 5th step. Number 5, edit simple, right? This is a big one for me because editing can be like really challenging for me, because it's like, I feel like, I want it to be a certain kind of way. And I'm really working hard on putting less efforts, spending less times trying to make something perfect and then missing the upload window altogether. So really just kind of shifting my focus with being okay to not be perfect, right? Like, I mean, of course I'm not trying to be perfect, but it's very easy to do when you start creating these videos. You have a certain perception that you're wanting to bring, but sometimes you can get caught in that. So I'm learning to just edit simple. So cutting dead spaces, like, something that I spend a lot of time on, like it may take me numerous times to record. So, I'll redo certain parts, and then you got cutting the dead spaces, and then, adding basic text and fixing the audio and fixing the color, the intro, the end, the export, like all of that stuff. So I'm working on minimizing the process, right? So I understand that I do not need every video to be a documentary, right? It does not have to be like this just long production. It needs to be clear, it needs to be helpful, and it just needs to get posted. This is the season that I'm in right now. Done and posted is better than perfect and sitting in CapCut and ScreenFlow and the different tools that I use. So the number 6 step is scheduling with a buffer. I am working on this as well. This is the part that I learned the hard way. I cannot be exporting at 9:15 if my goal is to upload my video at 9:30. So I'm working on finding a better balance with getting my recordings done, because that is too much pressure. That is how I actually missed my deadline yesterday, because actually my power went out in my neighborhood, and it was out from like 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and I had lost a lot of time. So that's why my video actually didn't even get posted, and I just waited until the next day. And so I'm not going to miss another day. So that is an example of scheduling with the buffer, right? So an example could be video needs to be finished by 6 o'clock p.m. It needs to be exported by 7:30 p.m., meaning edited, everything ready to export by 7:30 p.m. and uploaded by no later than 8:45 p.m. and scheduled for 9:30 p.m. So that is what I'm working on. So this will give me time for the title, the thumbnail, the description, the process, and any technical foolishness that decides to show up. If you actually schedule with a buffer, you will be able to be clear in what you're looking at and what you're working with. And, sometimes CapCut takes forever. Sometimes YouTube takes forever to process. And so you just got to have a buffer for when you're wanting to have your video scheduled by. You just got to work within that buffer. And that is what I'm doing. And so pull 1 to 3 shorts. Like that is step 7. pulling 1 to 3 shorts from a video. So if you're doing at least an 8-minute video, so just so you know, on YouTube, you need to do at least 8 minutes and I think 30 something seconds. I have to look exactly at the time, but you have to do 8 minutes and something for it to count as a long form video. So you can pull 1 to 3 shorts from every video that you do. So the shorts is going to be content that's already done, and your audience is going to be able to get little short pieces from your long form video. So this is where you use your shorts to get people back to your longer form video, right? So the formula for a short could be a strong hook, one clear sentence or a strong sentence, and text on the screen, call to action. So from this video, a short could be inspiration is not enough. If you want to keep showing up, you need a system. That is the kind of line that will stand alone, you know, and it can point back to the full video. So with that being said, this is the system that I'm using right now. It is not complicated, but it gives me a path, and it may change, but this is something that you can use right now for if you want to also adopt being able to post one long form video on YouTube. This is giving me a path, and sometimes a path is what we need most. No pressure, you know, not trying to be perfect, you know, having a perfect plan or just all figured out. Just a simple system that we can actually follow to show up. So this is the system. Simple, repeatable, and realistic. That is the game plan. In order to achieve anything that you want to achieve, you have to have a system. I have learned that the hard way. It is no getting things done until you put a system together. If you don't have a system, you're going to struggle through it. Already on day 4, I'm implementing this system. And guess what? You can too. I want you to commit to something that you're going to do different before we close out 2026. For me, it was committing to posting every single day at the spur of a moment. Because guess what? You got to step outside your comfort zone. You got to do something different. If you want something different, you got to do something different. It is impossible to get different results doing the same thing. You got to step out your comfort zone, baby. I thank you for taking this journey with me. You already know what time it is. It's officially level up season. I'll see you on the next video.